clout and kids don't mix really. And if you just put both of these elements in an uncontrolled environment, I have a feeling arson is going to be the least of your problems. Hi, and welcome back to me talking about whatever I want. Today I want to talk about TikTok challenges and how they're ruining my life. Well, not my life, but more so the lives of the people trying them. It is, however, ruining my day. But before that, of course, I'd like to give a comment shout out from my last video. Yesterday's comment shout out goes to Marble Water, who said, plot twist, D'Angelo isn't as old as he says. His stylist is just making him look older. You know, I wish that was the case, because if I wasn't this old, I wouldn't have to pay taxes. This baby face right here works on everyone except the IRS. But that comment was of course a reference to my last video, which is doing super well. The whole channel is doing super well. We just passed 69,000 subscribers. Seriously, if y'all are bored, go look at my social blade. It is popping right now. And since I like to keep it that way, I'm going to talk about TikTok. But you know, to be honest, I'm kind of tired of like the typical TikTok reaction videos where like you find someone really weird on TikTok and then you just talk about them for 10 minutes. I enjoy watching them every now and then, but I feel like it's been done, right? Like we get it. There's a lot of really weird people on TikTok with a lot of followers. So while this is most certainly going to be a TikTok reaction video, I'm not going to be reacting to specific people. I thought, what if I reacted to specific challenges? See, I don't use TikTok frequently, but I do read a lot of articles. And anytime TikTok pops up in the news, it's not for a good reason. So allow me to present these TikTok challenges, which I have curated from my various news reading adventures. The penny challenge. Oh boy, where do I start? So basically in the penny challenge, you take a wait. Let me clarify something. Do not try any of the challenges that you see in this video. I know most of you are intelligent enough to not even want to try this stuff, but every single challenge I'm about to go over is extremely dumb. Just beyond dumb. Like, mind-numbingly stupid. So please do not try this stuff. But anyway, the penny challenge involves a phone charger, and you basically take the phone charger and you plug it in, but not all the way. And then you wedge a penny in there between the charger and the electrical outlet in the hopes that you will create sparks. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, heck, I feel like my whole childhood, my parents were telling me, you do not play around with electrical outlets. Like, is that just me? Is that something we're not doing with Generation Alpha? Because last time I checked, staying away from electrical outlets was just common sense. But of course that didn't stop anyone, and we got videos like these.
In here.
No,
in the whole of the top. From the top.
You look so dumb right now.
Now, you know, I'm nobody's parent yet, but I'm just trying to put myself in the headspace of if I walked in on my kid doing the penny challenge for his TikTok. I think in that moment, I wouldn't be disappointed with the kid. I would be angry and disappointed with myself because clearly I failed as not just a parent, but a human being. So the way I discovered this TikTok challenge was via this article from this local NBC station. And this article brings up a pretty good point, which I didn't think about. It's arson. According to Captain Jonathan Evans with the Myrtle Beach Fire Department, it's just arson. Basically what they are doing is starting a fire. Whether they think it's fun or not, it's arson, and that's a big penalty that could ruin their lives. You know, now that he mentions it, if you are purposely trying to cause sparks, then you're pretty much purposely trying to start a fire. In other words, this TikTok is literally illegal. What a way to start. So of course it wouldn't be the year 2020 if people didn't run into legal challenges because of a TikTok. According to this CNN article, 2 15-year-old boys are facing charges of attempted arson and malicious damage to property under $1,200. And the reason for this is because they tried this at their school. And so authorities at the school found the electrical outlet and it was like burned and there was a penny melted into it. So I guess the kids' parents are being charged for them destroying the outlet, but you know, everyone involved is really lucky. Those kids could have burned down that entire wall. In fact, they could have burned down the entire school. So the fact that the damages totaled under $1,200 and both of the kids made it out alive, it's a pretty big coincidence. Fire Chief Edward Bradley of the Plymouth Fire Department says, I don't think students comprehend the reality that they can be electrocuted or start a fire. Parents need to talk to their children and tell them, if you see this stuff, don't try to imitate it. It's scary to think that the desire for TikTok clout could override the basic programming that every kid has, which is not to stick metal objects near electrical outlets. But yeah, that's the penny challenge. The flash challenge. So if the penny challenge was sticking a penny in an electrical socket, then what does the flash challenge refer to? How about shining a bright light directly into your eye with the intention of changing its color? Now, if that sounds insane to you, it's because it is. Basically, someone posted a TikTok to the platform where they claim that if you shine your camera phone's flash into your eye and then put that video on TikTok and put the S5 filter over it, then it will change the color of your eye.
You look so dumb right now.
Now, I don't think I even have to explain why it's a terrible idea to purposely shine light directly into your retinas, but you know, why would that stop anybody? So like the others, I found out about this from an article. So yeah, apparently this started on TikTok, but now it's making its way through Twitter, according to this Daily Dot article. And people think that it's helping them find their true eye color, like in these TikToks. Okay, you know what? Honestly, in that last TikTok, it kind of looked like it worked. Oh, wow. The camera flash is brighter than I remember. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, would you look at that? My eyes are still brown. Oh, the bleach challenge. Now, this is a name that I'm giving to it because it doesn't really have like a hashtag. But, you know, if shining light directly into your eye wasn't enough eye strain for you, how about the bleach challenge, in which you mix bleach, jelly, hand sanitizer, and shaving cream in a plastic Ziploc bag and then hold it up directly to your eye in the hopes that this will, you guessed it, change your eye color. Now, if you're hearing this and you're thinking, yeah, it will change your eye color to red because it'll be irritated, that is exactly what happened. So much so to where the person who created that original one recorded a new one in which they showed that the original challenge caused them to get a puffy eye.
You look so dumb right now.
So that little magic in the original video is just that. It's edited. Obviously, this is not changing anybody's eye color. However, that didn't stop more people from doing this. So the way I discovered this was actually via this Newsweek article, and something really disturbing popped up. So the person who originally posted this caption, according to this Newsweek article, is actually an adult. This article says that he's a college student. And so he posted the original TikTok, not the one where he admitted that it was fake, with the caption, "Tell me you guys used to do this too. Hashtag for you page, hashtag viral, hashtag bright eye challenge." You're trying to tell me that we have a fully grown man coming onto TikTok, app full of kids, and trying to pass off putting in harsh chemicals near your eyes as some sort of challenge that everybody should be trying. You know, it's one thing if kids are coming up with this, but if we have adults going onto the platform and disseminating this dangerous stuff throughout the app full of kids, I mean, you should just be ashamed of yourself. Are the likes that you get on TikTok worth it? Like, was that worth all those kids who wound up with puffy eyes? I sure hope it was. But yeah, that's the bleach, or the bright eye challenge. It's like you couldn't even come up with a good name for it. Oh me, oh my, the cereal challenge. Just a bit of a warning, this one's really gross. Basically, it involves two people, and one person, you know, lays back on a platform like a counter or whatever, and this other person pours a bowl of cereal in that person's mouth and then begins to eat it like this.
You look so dumb right now.
Look, I don't care if we're in a committed relationship or not. I am not about to eat cereal out of your mouth. Literally the most disgusting thing I've heard today anyway. And you know, it's gross enough with people doing this, but someone posted this one TikTok with a dog.
You look so dumb.
I can't. I cut it off before it got really gross, but Yes, it does keep going, and yes, it's exactly what you think it was. So of course, again, I discovered this via this New York Post article, actually. You know what? This article actually brought up a really good point that I didn't immediately consider. This entire challenge is an enormous choking hazard. Like, you are at an angle with liquid just sitting in your mouth. If you make one wrong move, something is going to go down the wrong pipe. In fact, this New York Post article actually has one of the cereal challenge entries from Bretman Rock, of all people.
Oh my god! Oh my god, Bretman!
He tries to pass it off as a joke, but that is a really dangerous situation, lying on your back, coughing up liquid. You know what? It seems like the lower your chances of survival are for these TikTok challenges, the higher your chances of them going viral are. So if that's not an indication that we just need to burn the entire app, I don't know what is. And you know, as much as I think Bretman Rock is kind of funny, I have a huge issue with doing stuff like this to your giant audience and not disclosing, at least, at the very least, how dangerous it was and how much of a bad idea it was. But nevertheless, you can't pass up on those hashtag cereal challenge views, now can you? Alright, so according to this USA Today article, which also briefly touches on the other challenges we talked about, we have the soy sauce challenge, in which you dip... Hold up. You know what, guys? I think I'm done with this video. No, but in all seriousness, what? I guess the point of this challenge is that, like, there are receptors down there, but like they're not taste receptors. So wait, what do the challenges look like?
Just went and got some soy sauce, and we're gonna do this little science experiment together. And don't be nasty in the comments. This is the human anatomy. Oh my god! I can taste the salt!
You know what? I don't think I want to talk about this challenge. Alright, so the last one I have up today is, of course, the Plan B challenge, also known as the morning after pill challenge. Now, if you don't know what Plan B or the morning after pill is, I'm sure someone in the comments will be happy to let you know. But basically, this challenge started off innocently enough, in my opinion. Someone just uploaded a TikTok of them dismantling a pregnancy. So yeah, they found a little tablet in there, and this person asked the chat, "What is this?" Well, someone answered that it was a Plan B pill. Now, I can only assume that the people saying that were joking, or at least I can hope that they were joking, but for some reason people started believing it. Like, look at some of these TikToks.
No way! There actually is! There is a Plan B pill!
You look so dumb.
Oh my god. Are you fucking serious?
Wow.
Didn't believe it.
And I think the worst thing about it was that these people weren't just saying, like, ooh, what's this? They were straight up just putting in the caption, oh hey, pregnancy tests have Plan B pills in them. So I was alerted about this challenge via this Daily Dot article. And here's the thing. These Plan B challenge videos were spreading so far that Clear Blue, the company who manufactures those little pregnancy tests, had to come out with this statement. Clear Blue pregnancy tests do not contain Plan B pills. All our tests have a small tablet which is included to absorb moisture and should not be eaten. If accidentally ingested, we ask people to please seek medical advice. So the thing is, it's dangerous on two levels, right? To think, oh, I don't need a morning after pill because there's one in my pregnancy test is obviously terrible. But then to encourage people to ingest things that are not designed to be swallowed is just as bad. So yeah, the Plan B test is just a grim reminder of how quickly misinformation spreads on TikTok and among a demographic of people that are so young and quick to believe everything that they see. It's a mess. So now that I've brought up these challenges, I just kind of want to wrap it up by calling out TikTok for allowing this stuff to happen in the first place. Now, I'm in no way suggesting that TikTok has a responsibility to censor the users on the platform. However, I absolutely believe there's nothing wrong with disabling these hashtags. If you know that the penny challenge involves arson, then maybe you would just disable the penny challenge hashtag. That way those people wouldn't get views and they wouldn't have an incentive to, you know, start fires for TikTok. Maybe you could just put a little text box. Hey, do not ingest these because they're not real pills. You know, again, I don't think it's TikTok's fault that these things started and that they were spreading so quickly, but if it's gotten to the point where fire departments and pregnancy test companies are releasing statements about this behavior, I really don't see why TikTok can't at least contribute a little something here and there. But honestly, what would I expect from what has to be the shadiest company in the entire world? In conclusion, clout and kids don't mix, really. And if you just put both of these elements in an uncontrolled environment, I have a feeling arson is going to be the least of your problems. But I can't really say I'm surprised. I mean, in previous years, we've had the cinnamon challenge, the ice salt challenge. We even had the fire challenge. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse and more out of pocket until eventually we have, I don't know, the coronavirus challenge or something. You just go pretend to have coronavirus in a public area. That can't already be real and a thing that somebody has tried, right?
So dumb, so dumb, so dumb.
You know what? Humanity's not really that great anyway, so if we're all gonna fall at the hands of TikTok challenges, honestly, who cares?